Morning, you guys. Welcome to episode 63 of the First and 10 NFL New York Jets podcast. How you doing this morning, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. 3 days in a row of 80-plus weather here on the East Coast.
About time, right? After like October.
We're finally getting some sort of a summer. Let's hope that the next 8 or 9 weeks stays like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. I'm there with you.
I don't know about you, Kevin, but maybe it's the older I'm getting. I enjoy the hot weather. It's always been for me, the hotter the better, you know?
Listen, after living here all my freaking life, I've had it with the winters up here. Give me the heat. Give me the heat.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. I mean,
I'll take 80, 85 degrees. Bring it.
Oh, yeah. Like I've always said, my motto has always been the hotter the better. I love the heat, you know?
Hey, so a couple interesting things. Okay. We're slow as we wait for training camp here. But Did you see that there's whispers of Breece Hall being number one?
Okay.
Over Carter?
Okay. I heard that. I know Carter wasn't I wasn't too happy about some of the whispers, but
mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
Well, that's what I was saying. I don't know what to think about it just yet. We have to take into consideration that this is what we call the downtime, and reporters
got to make stories, right?
Podcast people like ourselves have to throw things up there and see what sticks with it. But I know Carter wasn't too happy about it.
But again, as much as I love Carter, if Breece Hall comes in and he's Curtis Martin 2.0, like I was thinking, watching this film, hey.
Oh, I you know what, Kevin? I agree. We've always said the best 11 out on the field. If you're the best you're the best starting 11 out on the field, then that's what we have to go with. That's what we have. This team has had too many losing seasons because whether they didn't value the good players or they were too loyal to a fault with some of the players.
Yeah, like with those players you gave big contracts and money to.
Yeah.
Even if they weren't producing, you kept them in there, which I don't understand.
But, So I want, and all Jet fans want, the best 11 on offense, the best 11 on defense, and let's go. I think it was you. You said it constantly, right? Competition breeds excellence. Like
breeds success, man. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like I don't know how many games we've watched as Jet fans where we don't know who the quarterback is for the other team, but then he comes in and lights it up. Like we want to be one of those teams where even our second and third stringers are lighting up. Like we want to have the best of the best.
I mean, if there's nobody pushing you or breathing down your neck or everything, you're gonna slack. It's human nature.
Of course. I agree. So you know what, Michael Carter, we love you, but if you want this starting job, put your big boy pants on. Yep. And in mid-July, when camp opens up, I believe it's July 15th. I could be off on the dates. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Come out like a bat out of hell.
Yep. Yeah. Put on your big boy pants and let's go. I'm just tired of the losing. I know we're beating a dead horse here. Yeah, just put the 11 best on the field. And if Carter, you're one of them, bless. And if you're not, when you come in, get ready to do what your job is when you come in.
I saw Mr. Mosley, Mr. CJ, say the drought ends this season. The playoff drought ends this season. Finally. And it's nice to finally have an attitude like that. Remember when we talked over and over and over again about the owners and there's no playoff mandate. So what? Yeah. No, the idea is to make the playoffs and win the freaking Super Bowl.
Agree. And I'm not saying winning a Super Bowl is going to come this year. Who knows? Maybe we could be the Bengals too.
The Bengals, yeah. Hey,
and but again, there's got to be some type of mandate on this team. Like there's got to be,
there's got to be expectations.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's got to start now. So let's go. Like, you know what now? We brought in 2 years now under this regime, 3 years with Joe D. And listen, Joe D is the real deal. I think that's safe to say. Put it on the table. The way the man maneuvers through the draft. We're seeing things as Jet fans we should have been seeing 10, 20 years ago, manipulating the draft the way Joe does, bringing in his type of a player, not the fans type of a player, his type of a player, tough, eats and breathes and sleeps football, Again,
off the top of your head, give me a Jet on the team this year you think is going to have a breakout season.
You know what? I'm sure right now this is easy for me to say. I'm looking for Garrett Wilson to be the stud. I'm looking for him to be what Metcalf was.
Right.
What who was the wide receiver this last year the Bengals got in the draft? That kid. I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, yeah. Chase?
Yeah. I'm looking for that this year, Kev. I'm looking for, that wow player. That, you know what? I've watched too many other teams put out their first round pick or their second round pick, and we sit there and go, and the announcers sit there and go, and the talk shows sit there and go, wow, this kid is a stud. I want now to people to watch our film and go, wow, Wilson's a stud. Wow, Sauce is a stud. The Jets got the steal of the draft in the 4th round, I think it was, with Clemens, who just signed this week. This is what I want to hear.
Interesting thing about Sauce that you bring him up. Do you know that he only had 317 yards allowed in coverage since 2020? That's the top of all cornerbacks in college.
Oh, yeah. And I believe, because we discussed this, and I don't have my notes with me here, he didn't give up a touchdown in his 4 years.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Now, we don't know how that's going to occur in the pros, but you know what? I want us now to have the wow guys. I've watched too many years sitting down and hearing, the announcers, and I'm repeating myself again. You know the drill. Wow, that kid is amazing. Wow. I want that now to be us.
My wow player this year is going to be Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I understand that. I
think he's gonna bust open this year, especially with Wilson in there, and take some of the heat off of him. So I think
and Corey Davis looking like a beast again, talking it up. Telling you whatever issues he has in the past are gone. He's ready to rock.
Let's go.
Looking forward to this team. I really am. And I'm hoping all of Jet Nation is not in for a letdown. I'm really not.
Yeah, I'm listen, again, like we say all the time, I hope we're sitting here Thanksgiving week, like all pumped up, like, holy, December's a big month coming.
How nice would it be going into the month of December, even at maybe we'll say even at the best, 7-5. How nice would that be?
Listen, just sitting here on Thanksgiving Day, knowing you got a shot.
Yeah.
That's all we ask for as Jet fans.
No, I agree with you, Kev. I agree with you.
Couple of interesting things on the offensive line.
Go for it.
I was looking at Fant. Okay. I was looking at lowest allowed pressure rates.
Okay.
Like, of our recent offensive lines, do you know, like, he's number one in the 21 season at 3.2% over, like, Damian Woody and DeBrickshaw and everything?
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So, Kevin.
I mean, maybe we want Fant at left tackle.
Well, I was just going to say to you, because we're all Mekhi Becton supporters, but what is your take this week when we see pictures and video of Fant working out with no shirt on, and the boy looks diesel?
That's what made me look this stuff up.
And again, I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but here we go now, episode 3 of where's Mekhi? It's like find
where's
Waldo.
Mekhi?
Like, and no one in Jetland other than me seems to be a little worried about this kid.
We'll see. Hey, proof is in the pudding, man. We'll see.
Now, I don't buy into Boomer Esiason's crap that he's close to 400 pounds. Boomer's I understand Boomer played for us, but in my mind, Boomer is a Jet hater. Like, he never seems to have anything positive to say. So I'm taking Boomer Esiason's comments and throw him out the window, like 400 pounds, whatever. We don't know what the kid weighs. I don't know where Boomer thinks he knows. I know he's got more inside connections than we ever do. But just to say, I'm a little worried. I'm hoping Mekhi is ready come July 15th, whenever camp opens up, to ball and do what we think he could do, to be the mountain that we want him to be.
Same here. And you know who else is getting overlooked on the offensive line? Laken Tomlinson.
Well, I don't want to use the word greatness, but when you're a good player, when you're steady, when your numbers are steady, there's no need to talk about it. You know what you're getting. You know what this man is going to do and how he's going to perform. So there's no need to,
Yep.
You go out there, you do your job, you have a job, you don't, you're getting shit done. You don't need to hear, oh, he's in great shape, he's playing out of his skull, blah, blah, blah. You have a job, you do it. And when you don't hear about it, that means either one or two things. They're not happy, or he's doing what he's supposed to do. So there's no need to,
I'm excited to see Whitehead too.
Okay.
At safety.
Yeah, DJ Reed, everything. This defense is, I'm not going to put any pressure or any, top 10, top 15.
There's no reason, on paper, there's no reason you shouldn't be in the top 10.
No, true. But for the first time, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is just me, but for me, this is the first time, and I said this 4 years ago when we drafted our other quarterback, I thought it was going to be a lights out year. But this is a team that now there's 7 or 8 players on the field that wants to watch and get excited for. And then you talk about, we signed Whitehead, we got Reed, but I want to see what Pinnock does in year 2. I want to see what's the other Carter do in year 2, I'm excited about this stuff too, Javelin Guidry, I believe, is coming back. Jamarcus Joyner is like, these are the plays I'm excited to see now in year 2 under this defense, Yep. It has to be a growth year. It has to be a growth year, not just for Zach, but for all our draft picks from last year and 2 years prior. That's got to be.
Absolutely. Yep.
Were you surprised I wasn't that defensive tackle Larry Ajobu signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, for a visit. I saw that. Yep.
Yeah,
so what are you gonna do?
So I wonder now if that will speed up the process to try to get Riley Reef done or a Quan Alexander deal done.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
And we already said Michael Clemens, defensive end, signed his rookie deal, 4-year, $4.4 million.
That's another guy I'm excited to watch, man. His film, holy crap.
Yeah.
The guy is just like, he's got a constant motor, man.
Yeah.
It's like the guy just keeps going.
No, agree. He signed over $800,000 signing bonus, closer to $900,000. But yeah, I'm excited. News came out that Zach Wilson is the quarterback at Tight End University, throwing to these guys. So I don't know if we're putting a lot of stock in that. I heard people say, oh, that just shows you everyone respects him because he can make all the throws. And maybe that's probably right. Or maybe he was the only quarterback available.
Right.
Yeah. Tight End University. But the fact that he's there making throws to not only our 2 tight ends, but some of the best tight ends in the league, along with our 2 tight ends, I should say. It's pretty good. It's pretty good,
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
So Kevin,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, because it's a slow week, I busted out an article from last year that I brought up, but we never really touched up upon. So I thought we would have some fun today.
Go ahead.
And you could yay or nay. 9 players on the Jets throughout their 62-year history that should be in the Hall of Fame. So do you want me to read out the name first, or should I read out the achievements and then you could say yay or nay before I say the name?
Yeah, that's an interesting way to do it.
Okay. So just a little background.
Because really, I mean, Hall of Fame is based on your achievements, not who you are.
Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if after we go through these names, are they not there because this team has more losing seasons than winning seasons? Because
listen, that you and I both know when it comes to the Klecos and stuff, that's got a huge that.
Yep. Because if the Hall of Fame is based on your stats and what you did as an individual, the team record should not be what's keeping you out.
Right, of course. Yeah, right.
You know?
Just the fact that the team you were on is what's keeping you out.
You know? I mean, here's a
the
stat
fact
here.
The fact that you wore green and played in New York is keeping you out.
And Kevin, I wonder if we went back and did the history of the Detroit Lions, do they have some studs, but because they've never went to a Super Bowl, I don't know how many playoff wins they have or winning it, they're missing out on players, because the Jets have sent only 5 players in their 62-year existence to the Hall of Fame. 5?
That's rough. And one of them's Namath. So who's the other 4, right?
Yeah. Well, Maynard is the other one, right?
Yep.
Mawai just got in, didn't he?
Yep.
And Mangold and Curtis, right?
Curtis, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That anyone on that 80s team, and I'm going to go over it, got bypassed like, you know what? Screw this team. Meanwhile, we read numbers. I don't know if it was earlier in the year or last year, how if Tune didn't get the concussions, his numbers in his first few seasons were better than Jerry Rice's.
Even Wesley Walker, man.
Yep. So just to say, like we said, I'll just repeat, the Jets have sent only 5 players to the Hall of Fame. 11 of the 16 players in Gang Green's Ring of Honor remain out of the Hall of Fame. Out of the Hall of Fame. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm going to read you this guy, and you tell me if you can guess. Despite being the first defensive lineman in NFL history to earn a Pro Bowl selection at all 3 positions.
Oh, man, I know who that is.
Yep. A 2-time first-team All-Pro and the 1981 NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
He should. There's no question.
Yep.
That man should be in.
Yep. We should get a petition, Jet fans, and everyone out there who's a Jet fan, to get this man in. Mm-hmm. When guys like Marty Lyons and Jack Hanna, who are in the Hall of Fame, say how this man should be in there, why isn't the NFL board, the Hall of Fame voters or whatever, saying, well, let's look back at this man's career?
And the fact that after a game, him, Freeman, and Jim Sweeney hung out and drank a couple beers with us, even more so is why he should be in.
Man, I don't understand how one Joe Klecko is not in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
I don't get it. All right. Here's
even Gastineau.
Well, now that you said it, the cat is out of the bag. That's number 2 on the list. Mark Gastineau is considered to be one of the most dangerous pass rushers of his time. Gastineau was a menace on the edge.
And if Brett Favre doesn't lay down for Michael Strahan.
Yeah. Well, let me read more. So Gastineau has led the NFL in sacks in 1983 with 19 and 1984 with an astonishing 22 sacks, a number that stood up until Favre took the dive in 2001 so Strahan could beat it.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
So what makes Strahan and Gastineau different? What makes, in my opinion, 2 Super Bowl wins to no Super Bowls? That's the only difference.
Right.
Because Gastineau's record stood up for almost 20 years before someone took a dive so Strahan could beat it. One's in the Pro, one's in the Hall of Fame, one's not. Now, somebody might tell me I'm crazy. What do I know? But I'm just going by what we're talking about here with these numbers.
Yeah, I'm right.
The only difference is you won 2 Super Bowls, our guy didn't. You know?
And supposedly you played for the stepchild of New York. So
yeah, of course. Gastineau officially finished his career with 74 sacks, but the unofficial total, because sacks were not recorded until 1982, sits at 107.5. Not many pass rushers in the Hall of Fame are out who have over 100 sacks. I don't know how many are in who have over 100 sacks.
Crazy.
And that's another topic we're going to go over next week, because we discussed it. We teased it, I believe, last year. The difference in some of the Jets sack totals if they kept the records, and we'll talk about that next week because it's interesting. Like I just said, Gastineau officially finished his career with 74, but his unofficial sack total was 107.5, not in the Hall of Fame.
Man, what a defensive line that was.
Yeah.
I remember a Monday Night Football game against the Giants.
Okay.
They sacked Phil Simms 11 times.
Yeah. I don't know. So it leads me to believe it's because we don't have many winning seasons that we're overlooked. But again, it should be on the individual stats and not the team as a whole. Here's another guy. I won't say his name. Played 10 extremely productive seasons for the Jets. Rushed for over 5,000 yards and 52 touchdowns throughout his career with New York. He also earned 2 AFL All-Star selections in 66 and 68, and as well as an All-AFL nod in 1967 after leading the league in touchdowns despite missing half the season. Can you name him?
What's the years again?
66 and 68 and 67 was his outstanding years with this team.
Emerson Boozer?
Yep. That is correct.
Bring.
Yep. Have it not been for that injury this year, who knows what his numbers would have been.
Oh, he was a beast.
Yep.
Boozer was a bruiser.
Yep. I agree. I don't get it, Kevin. I don't get it.
No, I don't get it. No, it's because of where they played.
Yeah.
I fully believe that. And it's the same reason a team who's got 10 wins or 12 wins has 4 or 5 selections to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, right.
A team that has 3 or 4 wins, even though you had individual ballers on that team, gets 1.
Yeah. I see some of the names on the list the last couple of years, and I'm thinking, really? And then I see, oh, they went to a Super Bowl. Oh, they won a Super Bowl.
I got you. I know.
This one's going to be easy for you once I say these first words. Undrafted free agent. Played 11 seasons. Finished his career with 580 receptions, over 7,000 receiving yards, and 41 touchdowns.
The flashlight game.
Was inducted into the Jets Ring of Honor in 2014. Can you name him?
Is that this guy?
Yep, that is him.
Back here? Yeah.
One Wayne Chrebet.
Yep.
Not in the Hall of Fame.
Go
Not
figure,
in the
man.
Hall of Fame.
And you talk about players like Wes Welker and stuff like that. Well, Corbett was the epitome of that type of player, man.
Yeah.
And Berrios and stuff like that. He
And
set the
Berrios is
bar.
following in that.
He set the bar for those players.
I was just going to say, isn't Corbett the reason? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone else could think of another player. Because of what he did and because of his size, that gave guys like Welker and Edelman jobs in this league.
Yes.
Because when we were growing up, and we're up there in age for people who want to know, you couldn't be under 6 feet to play receiver.
That's one of the best things Kotite ever did.
Was that under Kotite's era?
I believe so, yes.
What year was that he was drafted? I don't have the year in front of me.
I'm going to say 96,
1995.
95. Yeah, 95, 96, yeah.
95.
Here's another name. That was Kotite, I believe.
Okay. Here's another name I'll give you. Now, this guy was just mentioned recently on Good Morning Football as an underrated linebacker. I believe he was actually number 1 on the top 5 of underrated linebackers. He was a second-round pick for the Titans in 1960. In 13 seasons with us, he earned 5 AFL All-Stars and 5 All-AFL selections. He was an integral part of the New York Super Bowl in '68 title and was named an AFL All-Team in 1970. Linebacker. I mean, it's all right. What?
Grantham?
Yep. And Good Morning Football just gave him props recently.
Mm-hmm. And well deserved.
Yep. You ready for number 6?
Yeah, go ahead. Bring it.
Okay. Despite playing only 8 seasons in the NFL, he finished his career with us as the most productive receiver in franchise history. His entire career with New York, he retired with 517 receptions, over 6,600 receiving yards, 31 touchdowns, and 3 All-Pro and Pro Bowl selections. His best season was in 1988 when he led the NFL with receptions, 93, and recorded over 1,000 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. And it's only because of concussions his career ended early. Yep. So again, 8 seasons. God knows if this man would have played 4 more, if he never suffered the concussion.
We talk about the concussions with him, man. And I'm sure I've told this story before when you could park close to the stadium back in the 80s. Okay. We were playing the Steelers. Greg Lloyd hit him so hard coming across the middle that he took him out of the game.
Wow.
And we were in the parking lot after the game, hanging out, tailgating and everything. And here he comes walking out. He couldn't remember where he parked his car.
Wow. Wow.
I swear to you. Yeah. That's why. And we always made a joke. I mean, it wasn't a joke, but we always said, here comes Al, where's my cartoon? So,
can you imagine if he played in the era where if you got a little dazed, they sat you, that was better treatment, what his numbers could have been?
Crazy.
And we always say these things like, like if you watch baseball halfway through this season, they say, at this point of the season, his projected numbers are to be this. What would have Al Toons been if he played 4 more years? Mm-hmm. Why isn't that taken into consideration?
Yeah, I know.
I know. So number 7, he bursted onto the scene in '77. Making an instant impact as a rookie, leading the NFL in receiving yards in '78 with over 1,000 yards. Blah, 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 blah. What else? He was with us for 13 years. He finished his career with 438 receptions, over 8,000 receiving yards, 71 touchdowns, and 2 trips to the Pro Bowl. He's also in the Jet Ring of Honor. He was a nominee. He was inducted in 2012.
Wesley?
Yep.
Man, that game against the Dolphins, I'll never forget that game. 45-37, whatever the hell it was at the end. Crazy. What a shootout. O'Brien and Marino just lit it up all day.
Yep. But when you
and these fly pattern after fly pattern to Walker. Like now, it was crazy.
Some might say, well, these numbers are pedestrian compared to what the receivers are getting today. I don't know that. I would have to go back and do the research. So I'm going to say,
the game was different though.
Are they? But true. But are they? You know, are they that much? Are the receivers doing any? You know, maybe they are. I would have to go back and look at. But you're right. It was a different time.
I mean, look at the way defensive backs could play then.
Yeah.
As opposed to now. Now you touch them, it's pass interference.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. You
know, so it was tougher. It was tougher to, in my opinion, to be a receiver.
Yeah, you could take
then.
Somebody's head off and not feel the 15-yard penalty. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I got another one for you. Number 8. Okay. He was originally going to be drafted by the Giants until we offered more money, which I never knew that. That's an interesting little tidbit. He won the AFL Rookie of the Year before going on to earn all AFL honors in 69 and 3 AFL All-Star selections in 64, 66, and 69. Now, once I tell you this stat, it'll give it away. He was the only one he rushed for 121 yards in the big game and scored the only touchdown in this game.
Oh, shit. I know who it is.
I get it.
Okay, I can't. His name isn't coming to my head. Who is it?
Mr. Matt Snell.
Yes. Damn.
He rushed in that Super Bowl for 121 yards.
Yes, he did.
You know?
Why couldn't I think of his name?
It happens.
I don't know.
It happens. Do you want to take a crack at who's number 9 on the list? Before I even read what he accomplished?
No, give me some stats.
Okay. He played for New York from 81 to 92 and retired as the franchise all-time leading rusher with over 8,000 yards on the ground. He also accumulated 3 trips to the Pro Bowl, an All-Pro selection, and in his second professional. Wait, let me read that again. He also accumulated 3 trips to the Pro Bowl and an All-Pro selection in only his second professional season in 82. He eclipsed the 1,000-yard mark twice in 84 and 85, and he's in the Jets Ring of Honor. He was inducted in 2011. Yep. Now that we've done,
another thing I'm sure I've told you, I remember years ago, Jets were having some contest on the website. Okay. Go to breakfast with Freeman, spend the day in the box with him, watching the game and everything. Okay. So I had to put my name in. Don't you know I won the damn thing? That's where the jersey came from.
Jersey comes from? Nice.
Yeah, it's signed. You can't see it, but it's like signed right there.
Yeah. Okay.
We got to hang out together all day, and in the morning they had like this buffet breakfast thing. We were sitting at the table with Randy Beverly, Kenny Shroy, all those people, the Super Bowl III guys. It was really a cool day. It was a cool day.
And you know what numbers? They didn't put here because they gave it in the whole. How about that playoff game? I believe in '86, the first round,
200 and something yards.
Yeah, it was originally 200, and I believe 8, 9, or 10, and then they officially made it 202. But he beat Cincinnati by himself.
Yes.
Did he also throw a pass in that game?
I don't remember, but I do remember the cover of the Daily News with him on it rushing, and it says blast off. McNeil rushes for 202 yards, blah blah blah. So
and then
man. I'd kill for that at those times.
And then I believe if my memory's right, we beat the Raiders the next week. That's when Lyle Alzado took off Chris Ward's helmet and threw it at him, and that little scuffle break. And then, of course, we know what Don Cheating Shula did with the mud bowl.
The mud bowl, the AJ Dewey bowl.
Yeah, because he knew he couldn't stop our speed with our receivers.
And Walt Michaels went for his throat in the tunnel after the game, too.
There you go. Now, do you have any honorable mentions you want to throw on this list? Is there anybody you say this list missed, this article missed? I'm going to throw a name out there just because as a kid I was a fan of his, and I don't know what his numbers are. Would you have thrown Mickey Schuler on there as a tight end?
Yeah. Hey, man. Have we had one that good since?
No, not until these two kids that we just got in free. In my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Johnny Mitchell never turned out to be the tight end we thought. Who was the other kid? Kyle Brady was a bust in my opinion. Who was the other kid? I can't remember his name.
Who's the kid who played with Sanchez?
That's what I'm trying to think.
Dustin Keller.
Dustin Keller, yeah. He could have been so much more, but I mean, to me, again, as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old watching him, he always made the catches. He always took the hits. He always, Now, of course, this is probably far-fetched, Shula, but that's one of the names I threw out there.
Last week, NFL Network replayed the divisional round playoff game against the Pats up in New England.
Okay.
Man, it was good to watch that. It was good to watch that again, in the sad faces on old Patriot fans, Brady and Belichick.
Let me give you another name. Some will say we should get a petition. People think Mo Lewis, Hall of Fame for you?
Should be, yeah. Should be.
So there you go.
My opinion. I mean, he's got that Brady asterisk.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. This made for an interesting list. I'm glad we talked about it. Jet fans, like and subscribe. Let us know.
Yeah, hey, I hit pretty good. The only one I didn't get was Snell.
Yeah, that's because you couldn't remember the name. I'm sure,
Yeah.
I mean, once I said the big game, I mean, I'm sure it started to click, but
just couldn't.
Yep.
Not enough coffee yet or something.
Yep. So unless you have more, I was just gonna say.
No, that's it. That's it for today.
We wrap this up. I won't say who or what until it's official, and maybe we won't even say who. We're gonna have fingers crossed. As of now, it's not in stone, but it's almost in stone. We're gonna have a cool special guest on July 9th. I won't say who yet. And the following weeks after that, we're gonna start to do some roundtable discussions with some friends of the show. And,
so if you would like to be a part of it, please hit us up, like, subscribe.
Yep.
Put a message on the bottom. Hey, I want to be part of the roundtable.
Yeah, we've always said that it's open to everyone. You may not know us, but if you have something to say, and you don't have to be a Jet fan, we're just going to open it up and talk football. A bunch of guys or ladies, we would love to get a woman's opinion on the show.
Absolutely.
Buying for women to come on the show. I've been putting out feelers to see who wants to come on. We'll have anyone on. We just want to sit and just talk football with the fans.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We're getting closer. We're getting closer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Less than a month away, right?
Yeah. Well, from a camp, yeah. Yeah, what are we now? Almost 80 days away from opening day. I got to do the math real quick. Maybe less, maybe a little more.
It's even less than that, I think.
Yeah, well, let's see. July 30, 62, 62, 73. Yeah, about 77 days away real quick. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. To quote Mr. Boss Scott, can't wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Well, that's it on my end.
Same here. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy a beautiful day here in New York and New Jersey, finally. And get out and get some.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next week. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you next weekend.
All right. Hit them with it, brother. Hit them with it.
Yeah. And shut up.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you guys later.